My name is Sarah Falkenberg-Hassan. I'm an art psychotherapist at Family Futures. So I thought about producing this webinar because play is often overlooked or thought of as a given, whereas with trauma experienced young people, it can be challenging and cause dysregulation. I hope this webinar will enable some food for thought and reflection regarding play. I will be introducing some theories, as well as thinking about ways to support children who become aggressive during play, cannot play, or need a high level of adult supervision during play. Right, so for a child who becomes dysregulated during play, encouraging movement breaks. So sometimes at school, it can mean as well that the child needs to go outside for a quick run in the fresh air. I'm aware not all schools kind of allow that, but just changing the child body temperature can make a big difference. There's some yoga pretzel cards, which I quite like to use sometimes. They're all about attachment and contact with the caregiver, and it's kind of adding a little bit of challenge. So swinging or trampolining, snack breaks, chew toys, wine gums, chewy mango, speaking through a cuddly toy. So sometimes distraction can help, but I always kind of say first validate the emotions and notice that you've seen them there. So sometimes what happens is we automatically go into distraction really quickly, but we still need to validate that we've seen that their body's feeling a bit wiggly, that they're shouting really loud because they're not feeling okay. So really recognizing, oh, I think maybe you might be upset with myself or with your friend. Possibly a change of scenery, so even going from one room into the other room, change in temperature, like I was saying, so it can be from hot to cold, using like an ice cube to suck, or from cold to hot in terms of grabbing a fluffy duvet. The texture of the duvet can help as well, hot water bottles, hugs. So remembering that the child's response is coming from fear, so they might be feeling extremely overwhelmed in that moment, that they can't kind of think straight, and they're so scared that I might be left alone, which is our survival instinct. We need other humans to kind of survive. So that's linking then back to abandonment and not being able to be okay without a person to help regulate themselves. So it's going back to that primal need. I think it's really important to tap in with our own play, or what was it like for us to play as a child, and where is play's place in our adult life, because it really helps to think about our children when we're thinking about that. So just got a little slide on why messy play is important. So messy play offers self-expression, so there's no right answer. So you can use Play-Doh, slime, and other materials. I love model magic. Anybody who's come to Family Futures has met model magic, but it's just so lovely to kind of craft and use, and you can even add like fairy liquid to it if you wanted to. So kind of the aspect that things can be reworked endlessly. So it's different to creating a picture, which would mean you need a new blank page if things don't go the way that you like afterwards. So trauma experienced children can be sensitive to failure and performance, so messy play can build confidence. It's more process focused as opposed to thinking about the end result. So children who've experienced early trauma have missed out on vital elements of play and mess making. It can be helpful to envision each of us with a unique sensory cup inside of us. So children with a big cup take in a large amount of sensory stimulation in order to feel satisfied. And those with a small cup require very little. And if there's too much stimulation, their cup overflows and it becomes overwhelming. So if a child is uncomfortable or reluctant, to think about not pushing them, but instead finding different ways to help them feel comfortable. So finding a comfortable entry point. So that's a little bit going back to the slides that I shared before. So thinking about, for example, their interests, or is there a feeling or a touch or something they really like, and could it be that then opens many doors to other things? So free play, just a few examples. So toilet roll decorations. So you can use toilet rolls, recycle them to make people. I thought the other day that toilet rolls can even become advent calendars, so you can staple or stick them together at the bottom and put something inside. And if a child finds waiting for chocolates too difficult, you could put an animal joke in there, or you could put a positive quote to help with their self-esteem. So painting with spices. So that's why I put that spice picture in there, using coffee, curry, going on a little treasure hunt in your kitchen. What do we have? You just mix some water with it. So sometimes, just adding a bit of water can then allow you to paint with those materials. So using playfulness in conversations. So I'm thinking about teenagers as well. And the other day, I think a teenager was saying, oh, well, I had fish and chips. And then I kind of thought, oh, what would a chip look like if it was in space? And then we went into a complete tangent. So I know that play can sometimes be thought of being either really messy or the general aspect of play, but it's also using play in your conversation. So using your imagination. He came up with some great ideas.